was living in residence for the first 2 years at SFSS University. I'm in my third year now, and when I was living in townhouses, I worked with Josina Vink. She was my CA and she was my resident. Well, she was my CA. She lived in the townhouse that I was in, and things that we did was just planting herbs in little recycled cups, like just leftover cups, and so that means you had fresh herbs by March or something like that. The little stuff, the little micro community farming is really achievable and really easy to do, especially in residence. A lot of windows face directly south. Really easy to get your required light in order to be able to do this. But when it comes to making the larger changes, expanding the lot size, that is a zoning thing that would have to be taken up with the Board of Governors, and it's a very strong, very strongly in the University Relations Officer's portfolio. But as the Simon Fraser Internal Relations Officer, I've learned that the Women's Center has a plot, and they allow anybody to come and help out with the Women's Center plot in the SFU Community Garden. I have yet to take them up on that offer. I always just, they ask for Sundays that I just don't have available, and I would really like to have gotten out. But I know that a part of it is available, and I know that it is very cliquey. A lot of people just get a plot and they hold on to it for 20 years. It makes it completely inaccessible for a first-year student, a second-year student to go in and get it. So what I would like to see is, yes, this program can be expanded, but we need to figure out where. A very good choice is we're not going to get a sub for a couple of years, so we might as well just put something there. I mean, it's unclaimed land. I did some guerrilla gardening a couple of years ago where I just saw this empty lot right beside my house and I started throwing seed bombs on it. So you don't even need to ask for some permission sometimes. And I'm entirely for that. Like, what will the university do if there's suddenly a garden on unused land that nobody used? Like, I really don't think that they'll be too upset. So that's another option that the Simon Fraser Student Society should definitely look at.
This past year as External Relations Officer, I've done some coalition work with UBC and UVic. Like you said, that there's been a lot of talk about farms on campuses, and we at the Board of Directors of the SFSS put together or signed a letter that I wrote to send to the UBC administration and the provincial government to, call for that UBC farm to be maintained in its current size and location because it's so integral for the community there. And I think that the same kind of work needs to be done at SFU. I would like to do a lot of consultations with students about a variety of issues and see if this kind of initiative is something that students would be interested in, like having an SFSS plot, buying off one of the plots if one comes available, if not finding new plots like Andrew was suggesting. It's part of getting more students involved. The Student Society has a lot of trouble often recruiting volunteers and getting new students who aren't elected and not paid to actually just volunteer for the Student Society. So one idea that my team had together was to post volunteer positions online and on bulletin boards and that kind of thing, so that students can apply for something that could be, a garden coordinator position. It's a volunteer position, doesn't cost anything, but gets students involved and gives some ownership to students. It would, make it so that we can have more students involved with the SFSS because it sometimes has this bit of an exclusive feel, and at the same time getting important things done like more students involved with gardening and sustainability and local food.
Cool, those are some great ideas you have. It's the students that really show the interest, I think. And then one thing we can do to start that is to start a petition and see if there's interest on campus. If the SFSS had its own plot that all students are members of, then I think that would be a good idea to get composting on campus more often and all that kind of stuff. So I think I would start a petition if the university kind of refused to give us a slot and see how much interest there is on campus and do that initiative.
One of the things that I did in this semester for one of my classes in Sustainable Community Development was to build a plan for rooftop gardens on campus. And I think that is the largest unused prime space we have here is the flat roofs. Because the way this school is built, the roofs are already flat. Right now there's just gravel there, and it's easy space to use, and we could easily put a a plan together to the university, and this would fall to the university relations officer, but it's something that I think I would want to work on as a committee member. Basically we could build plots on the roof, and some of the key advantages are it cleans the water as it rains onto the roof. It sequesters carbon, and it just makes the campus look more beautiful. Right? It cuts down some of the gray space that we have, and it allows students to interact with the space in a much more interesting way than we're currently doing. Thank you.
Well, as University Relations Officer, if elected, I plan on running for the Board of Governors as well, just so I can have a connection with those university officials that I have to be dealing with. Also, I think it'll be important to actually talk to students, have this one-on-one time with them, because we have to find out if this is something that they would want and how they would want to bring it about, because it would be useless to just start something of our own initiative. So I think it's really important also to bring awareness to students, because a lot of people aren't that interested in